Hey guys, how's it going? Cody here from Buffalo Rutland Company. Today we're going to do a video on how to use your rolling mill. Alright, we're going to cover the specs on your rolling mill, how to set it up, get the best bang for your buck with these bad boys. We're going to go ahead and cover our texture plates that we make, our company makes here in-house. The specs on these, cover how to use these bad boys, and try to answer some of the questions that I know you guys have on how to use these texture plates with your rolling mill, what you can and can't do, and the do's and don'ts. So stick around, let's get into this, and hopefully I can cover everything you guys have questions about. Alright, let's go guys. Okay, so first things first, what is a rolling mill? Alright, let's cover that. Basically you have a frame here, okay? You have two rollers on the inside, and depending on the size rolling mill you have, the rollers sizes will vary. And what I have here is the 110 millimeter rolling mill from Pepe Tools, and I gotta tell you, I'll get into how much I love this thing later, but man, this thing was built so well with such high quality. Honestly, as a tool maker myself, I'm really impressed with how they did this thing. So like I said, anyways, before I start rambling on, what you have here is a very simple tool that gives you unbelievable results. So it's basically two rollers, a gear ratio in here, which I believe this is a 4-to-1 gear ratio on this. There's a handle here, as you can see. Let me turn the camera a bit. There's a handle here which is going to turn those gears and cause your rollers to move. So as you can see here, those rollers are moving. What you can do with something like this is take a very thick ingot and reduce it to a smaller gauge. So you can roll out some of your own sheet, roll out your own wire. You have square wire rollers here, and you have flat back half round wire on this side, varying in 3 different sizes. You have your pin up here. What you're gonna do is, when you twist this, I'm zeroed out all the way between these two things. So these two rollers are now touching. What you do is just loosen these gears up, and there's pins in each side that are threaded, and those are pulling your rollers up or down. So let's just imagine the space between here is, there's now a larger opening and a smaller opening. Say you have a 16 gauge piece of sheet that you want to roll down to 20 gauge. You would put it in here, turn this until it's touching. Now that you have it touching, back it out, and then you would just adjust the lever here to bring your roller down just a bit tighter to roll this through. Now as you can see here, you have a really nice ductile casted frame, and it looks like a really nice powder coating or something, but it's very rugged looking. It's the finish on it is very strong, if that makes any sense. It comes with 4 mounting holes, so you can bolt this into your workbench or desk, or if you have a mobile unit you want to use, you can do that. You have your full 4 bolts here. They also give you these 2 extra ones for added stability. I have yet to need those. Each side, depending on which direction you have the mill, whether it's on this side or on the opposite side of your bench, what you have here are these little indicators. So as soon as you get to wherever you start off as your flattest point, say you have your metal in there, as soon as these 2 guys touch and you can feel a little pressure in there, you would turn this indicator to a 0. That way you know you're zeroed out. You're right where you want to go. And from here, you can adjust backing off, adding extra pressure, bringing your rollers down a little bit more. And it's pretty accurate for what it is. Alright guys, I'm going to jump on the handheld here. But something I want to show you that's extremely important to note about this rolling mill is the massive gap you have between these 2 rollers. You can really get some thick stuff in there. Now if you look at some of those economy rollers, you're going to get like maybe 3 or 4 millimeters of space between your 2 rollers, which is obviously going to be a problem if you're trying to roll any kind of texture plate, or even if you're taking a relatively thick ingot. Honestly, not even that thick with some of these rolling mills from the economy line. from other companies. Even getting a relatively thin ingot in there and rolling out some sheet with that is going to be really difficult. But as you can see here, I mean, I want to say you have about 7 or 8 millimeters difference or distance between the two rollers. And now I'm giving it a little bit of a turn here, but you can see it starting to focus in on there. You know, you can bring it down, showing you it's moving. It's not just you know, about right there is where I feel like I'm starting to feel some pressure on the gear, so I'm not going to go more than that. But that's way more than enough than you're ever going to need. I mean, you can fit a rolling mill, and this is like 16 gauge copper. You can see on here that you have you know, plenty of distance still on top of those. You could probably even fit like I don't know, maybe a 10 gauge on top of this texture plate, which is already 1/8 of an inch, so 3.5 millimeters. Wow, that's impressive. All right, guys, let's get in here and roll something through here really quick. So I'm going to try not to get too much in front of the camera, but as you can see here, I have one of our texture plates. This one's called the Damascus 2 plate, and this one here it's made to replicate the look of Damascus steel or makumegane on your non-ferrous metals. And it's 2 inches wide in this direction by 7 inches in length. It is 3.5 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch. Whether you're using metric or imperial, you get the gist. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to take our metal, and I have this scrap piece of copper from a stamping demonstration I was doing, and you just pretty much lay it here on your texture plate, wherever in here you like the pattern. I think I'm going to go a little more on this side here. And you just set it between your two rollers, and you just bring this top guy down until you feel it kind of touch. Alright? Then you're going to take your handle here and kind of back it out. And remember what I showed you earlier, this indicator, I want to take it to 0. And I found with this thickness on these plates, and this blank is fully annealed, if I just bring it to the 125 mark, that's more than enough to get a nice, clean, deep impression. So I'm just going to run that through as is. You can give me a second here, and you'll see it's easy. You just, a couple of quick turns. Make sure you're on a stable surface, of course. I kind of have a rinkety bench, but you can see as I roll this through, your plate will come out the other side, and I have this really awesome texture. Try to focus in on there. You can see this texture has been transferred onto my piece of copper. So what I'm going to do is pop this thing off the tripod, and I'm going to get kind of a close-up shot and show you the texture from the plate on this piece of copper now. Alright guys, so let's take a look. I took a little bit of Scotch-Brite to that copper blank so we can get a really good image of that transfer. Look at that texture. Wow. Effortlessly just ran that through with one of our plates on the 110 Pepe rolling mill. And man, that is so awesome. The texture's great, very clean and crisp, but I don't make them too deep so that if you were to want to solder some sort of a stone or something on here, it doesn't leave you with too many gaps at the base of your bezel wire and the surface that you're trying to solder. Let's take another look at this guy here. So here I have a few samples of some of the plates that we do make here in-house, ranging from, you know, some Art Deco designs to some leaves. We have some pretty cool patterns. So if that's something you're interested, you can head over to our website and look at our selection of different texture plates. And we also have examples of what they look like after you've rolled them out. Okay guys, I hope I answered some of your questions. If you have any more, just leave them in the comments below. But generally, that's how you're going to use a rolling mill. And that's how you will use texture plates in your rolling mill. You will see people tell you that you need to have some sort of an envelope or something like that to protect your rollers from being damaged from your texture plates, but it's never going to happen simply because of the basics of metallurgy. This roller is infinitely harder than this mild steel 1018 plate. There's no physical way that this alone is going to hurt this. But if you feel more comfortable, and I get it, when you invest in tools you want to take extra care of them, you can simply wrap a piece of paper over the two of them like an envelope, sandwich everything in there like you would without it, run it through if it helps you feel a little better, but it's not necessary, it's an extra step, and we all know time is money, and I don't have much of either. So basically, that is how you're going to use the rolling mill. If you're interested in getting one of these bad boys, I'm going to add a link in the description below that'll take you directly to Pepe Tools website. It's actually an affiliate link that I got with these guys. So if you are going to buy one, it would be great if you use that link, because I get a kickback on that and it helps support the channel. And anybody who's been following our company for a while knows I got a busload of kids and a whole bunch of diapers. And as they're getting older, man, they can eat, let me tell you. So if you're going to grab you one of these, and they have all different sizes. They've got different rollers, they've got electric, they've got manual, they've got everything you need. And they have a bunch of other cool tools as well, as far as die cutters and stuff like that goes, soldering picks, mandrels. They got a whole bunch of cool stuff. I like the company a lot. They're made right here in the USA. They stand behind their product. If you ever need any help or anything like that, as far as operating your machines from them, they're always there to kind of help you through everything. And so far, everything I've dealt with the company has been really great. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to ramble on too much, but they're a good company. So if you do want to get yourself a new rolling mill and step up from something off the eBay or whatever, economy rolling mill wise, definitely get you one of these Pepes. They're great, very strong, make your life real easy. So yeah, follow the link in the bio below if you want to get you a rolling mill. Follow the additional link if you want to go to our website and purchase some of our texture plates, which work perfectly in the Pepe rolling mills. All right guys, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, comment below and I'll do my best to get back to all of them. Other than that, stay stoked. I'm gonna catch you guys on the flip-flop. All right, peace.